Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's meeting of the Nashua Board of Education's Human Resources Committee at the Nashua High School Boardroom at Nashua High North. It is February 19th, and it is 5:41? 31. Okay. Clock looks different, but that's okay. And I'm calling this meeting to order. I will begin with a roll call for attendance.
Sure. Ms. Giglio?
Here.
Mr. Johnson? Ms. Raymond is here. We also have Ms. Lampier and Ms. Daniels-Williams. Hold on, I just got to write it down. And we have Dr. Andrade and Mr. Baus.
Okay. Let us look at tonight's personnel recommendations. Are there any questions? Seeing none? Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Raymond.
Thank you. Mr. Baus, is this the total number of retirements we can expect for this school year? I don't recall what the date was that people had to get their retirement notification in.
Yes, so there was one exception that was made throughout the district, but other than that, yes, this is the final number. February 1st was the deadline.
Okay. And so do you know off the top of your head what our total number of retirements was for the year? I'm just curious.
This makes it 25. And
Is that typical? That seems typical.
Yep. It's typically around 20 to 25. COVID, we had a little bit higher, but.
Well, congratulations to all of the people who put in all of those many, many years with our kids. And also, I'm like super excited to see some nominations on here.
Any other questions? I was just wondering, since we know how many people are retiring, what is the timeline for us being able to fill those positions? Could you speak to that a little bit?
Yes, so contractually, we do need to follow the contract in regards to the procedures regarding hiring timeline. So our plan for starting the official hiring for the next school year will be about mid-March, mid to late March.
That sounds great. Okay. Any other questions? I'm looking for a motion to approve the personnel recommendations for tonight.
I'll second. So the motion is to approve the recommendations.
Okay, all in favor of approving them? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Are there any other items that we need to discuss tonight?
I just had some questions about some of the staffing changes that we're anticipating. So I know that retirement was due. You said we're looking at figuring out things for March. What is the timeline as we're going into the spring for figuring things out for next year?
Timeline in regards to like hiring? So
our
positions,
workforce
retirement,
needs, et cetera, et cetera.
retirements have been posted already, so those are up for people to go on and apply. We do need to follow the contractual process, whether it comes down to start out with, if it comes down to it, RIFs. After RIFs, it goes by transfers.
What's RIFs?
RIFs is a reduction in force.
Okay.
So if it comes to that, after that, it would be transfers. Then it would be involuntary transfers, and then we'd be able to do the recalls after that. And then we'd officially start the onboarding for anybody new to the district.
So over the last month or so and over the next couple weeks, Mike and I are meeting with all the building principals to review student enrollment, class size, needs of their building as well. So then, again, just looking at numbers. That feedback will also be forwarded to Mr. Donovan to see what we can afford in our budget. One thing that I just want to be really cognizant, one of the biggest priorities when we had the Department of Justice in here, we know we need ELL teachers. So just minimally, again, as a budget item, we're moving over 6 ESSER positions, L positions that were in ESSER to the operating budget. That's a wash. We also know from the DOJ report that we probably need anywhere from another 8 to 10 ELL positions. So that's a total of close to 14 new positions just for ELL in the operating budget. And just math-wise on that, that's anywhere from 750,000 to over $1 million. That's new expenses in the operating budget. So again, if we're just looking at priorities and kind of moving forward in staffing, that's going to be an impact. So, my recommendation with the building principals, back to the Board of Education on two things are equal in positions, what is our greatest student needs and where are we going to put a position in. So that's the process right now, kind of looking at it. And so that's a difficult, so what's going to be open in a month? We have to look at, again, our greatest needs in our budget that was in ESSER. What are we putting into operating? ELL and special education are two big items that need to make it into the operating budget.
So should we on the board and the public expect that information to be presented to us through HR or through the budget process?
That'll be coming out through the budget process. So once we have those figures, when we look at our budget priorities, that will be, again, probably mid-March. It'll be coming out around the same time. So.
And then my other question is on the ELL. Traditionally, it's been challenging for us to fill ELL positions. Do we have any new tricks up our sleeve? Any new recruiting techniques? Any new, advertising?
Yeah, so I've actually been working with our director and assistant director of ELL, and they've come up with a cohort that we're running out of NHTI, where we give them a certain amount of students. They basically, with our course reimbursement and what the district is offering to help pay the supplemental 20% of it, we're basically having candidates go to NHTI to get certified in ELL for almost nothing. So that's our goal, is to try to get them certified.
And those are
in-house.
existing staff.
Could be either.
It could be either. It could be paras that are looking to become teachers. So it's really open to everybody.
Oh, wow.
So you'll see, if we're adding these new positions, right? So in the budget, you might see that the FTEs, the full-time equivalents, our teachers, might be equal, right? So just where we're doing the restructuring. So say at the middle school, if we're going down some teachers at the middle school and we're adding ELL teachers, if we started the day with 1,000 teachers, we might end the day with 1,000 teachers, but it's a different 1,000 teachers, if that makes sense.
Right. And you'll have more information for us about this through budget.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. I'm excited about the NHTI partnership, though. That's huge.
Yeah, definitely. And I work with, or trying to get Grand Canyon in that too. Grand Canyon University, they do a large online portion, so I'm trying to start that as well. LA.
Okay. All right. And that would be open to people that we hire for these positions, but also for our existing staff wanting to get that certification.
Yep. So in some of the transformation, if we're adding new 14 new L positions, and you might be a teacher that's the lowest seniority and there's not a position for you, there could be a L position for you, and then go through the certification process and you still have a job.
Well, it sounds like it will be a challenging budget season
Yes.
this year.
Yeah. Well, especially with the elimination of all the ESSA funds.
Thank you. I think Rob had a question.
Johnson?
Do we have potential people who are already going through this training, or is this upcoming?
Yes, we do have, I want to say 2 or 3 currently starting it. They're only allowing us to do one class at a time. I'm not sure the reason behind it, but it's one class at a time, so they finish the class and then they enroll the next class.
And how long does the training take?
I want to say they become certified in less than a year, or I believe I don't know the exact timeline, but less than a year they get their ELL.
So are we up on, are we close considering the start of school year?
We just started it a month or 2 ago, so it's brand new to us.
Right. And I'm just saying, will some of these people be trained in time for September, or?
Maybe not September, but by next school year, they'll have completed it and they'll
Okay.
have it. Yep.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, how many staff are in it now?
I believe there's either 2 or 3. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay, thanks.
Will we consider, like, if people are currently getting certified, will we be more likely to hold on to them despite the contract language?
Say that again.
Yeah, like if, say the 3 people that are in the ELL program right now, if one of them was slated to be RIFed, would they still be RIFed because they don't have their ELL certification yet?
So if they have an ELL pathway, that they shouldn't have any issues with the reduction.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, then I'm looking for a motion to, oh, I'm sorry.
So I guess I had a question. So my question is, so these teachers won't be ready. Do we have a pool of teachers that are ready to fill the 25 spots that we're losing with the retirement?
At this time, we do not.
Is there a plan in place? Because
We're recruiting. We have job fairs coming up. Our first job fair of the year is next Tuesday at UNH, but I'm at UNH, St. A's. Riviera hasn't set theirs up yet. SNU hasn't set theirs up yet. I'm looking to get into Keene this year because I heard good things come out of Keene. Plymouth State we have set up for March. So there's a Massachusetts job fair that we have set up, and then we're going to work on getting ours set up as well.
absolutely, thank you.
And any other questions? Anyone? No? Then I guess I'm looking for a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Motion,
Do you want a second?
second that motion, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 We are adjourned at 5:45.